I'm Marc, also known as Marc Hansen in game, and I play tank on the Hallam Hammers Overwatch 2 Esports team for Sheffield Hallam University.
When did you start playing Overwatch?
I first started midway through Season 3 of Overwatch 1 during a free weekend. My friend said, hey, download this game. We played it, and after like a week after the free weekend, I ended up buying the game and playing it ever since.
So Overwatch 2 is a 5v5 based hero shooter where teams consist of one tank player, which are usually quite beefy, obviously, two DPS, who are the main damage characters on the team, and then two supports, where the majority of the time they'll heal and support their other teammates. The game itself has 5 different game modes which you can play. The first one being Escort, where you just escort a payload from one end to the map to the other, and then after the time ends, you switch sides and you do the same thing. The other game mode is Control Point, which is pretty much just king of the hill. There's a point in the middle of the map. Whoever has it for the longest wins. Then there's Hybrid, where you have to capture a point on the map and then escort the payload after. Then there's Push, where there's a robot in the middle of the map and you can push it towards the enemy's spawn point, or they can push it to yours. Whoever gets farther wins after the time ends. And then finally there's Flashpoint, which is pretty much king of the hill as well, but it's just more fast-paced and more fun to play.
Hello everyone, welcome to week 7 of the University Esports Overwatch 2 Swiss stage. Back again with the Hallam Hammers.
Explain what University Esports and NSE is.
NSE and University Esports are collegiate esports systems that involve UK and Ireland universities. Both separate companies have weekly leagues for pretty much every esports game out there. And just like any other university sport, they contribute to the BUCS point system, which stands for British Universities and College Sports. Most of the time it's just a sport that any university attendant can play on the side for some fun if they enjoy video games. But there are multiple kind of branches you can go off from, that either be working in the industry or playing professionally after playing university sports.
Whenever we lose, we try not to get too hung up on them, but we go back and look at the VODs, review the gameplay, see how we can improve what we shouldn't have done so we make less mistakes the next time. And yeah, we just try to stay calm and relaxed and not blame anyone for it.
Marc Hansen onto the Zarya now, trying to get back to the point as fast as possible to help his team.
I think the Zarya is a wise choice. She's become really strong in a lot of metas recently, and she can be used to gain a lot of powerful attacks, but we'll have to see in this last team fight.
Well, here we go, overtime now. Marc Hansen, good pick against the D.Va, but he is losing health rapidly, gets taken down straight away, and it's only the Reaper left now on the side of Hull. Oh, look, there is a Tracer, but gets taken down as well. Looks like Glasgow's university team are going to take the first point on Lijiang Tower. Here we go, first team fight here. Looks like a very similar mirror comp. Oh, instant kill for the Junkrat on team Hallam Hammers. Takes down their Glasgow's Lucio. This is a pick they needed. Instantly get them more. No heals for the side of Glasgow now. This should be an easy team fight win for Hallam, and it does seem like that the rest of the Glasgow team has backed up and the point goes to them.
When I was talking about disruption, that's exactly what I mean. They feel safe in those backlines behind their tanks, but that jungle player, he doesn't care. He doesn't care if you're in the backlines hiding behind a big tank.
I study computer science for games at Sheffield Hallam University.
Do you think that this could be incorporated into esports?
Potentially, as I want to go into programming games, I could potentially land a job working on one of the big esport games, hopefully. And if not, creating my own maybe one day.
How did you get into NSE and University Esports?
I joined the Esports Society at Sheffield Hallam, which was advertised on the sites. Saw they had one up for Overwatch, decided to join that Discord and wanted to check it out in first year. But unfortunately I was too busy to play during those times, so I had to put it off. Now that I'm in second year, my timetables have changed, availability is freed up a little bit, so I've actually been able to apply and join a team this year.
Did you play like anything semi-professional before you joined University Esports and NSE?
Back when I was in college, I was the team captain on the Chesterfield Conquerors for the Chesterfield College. We didn't make it into the playoffs, but we still had a great time. and I did one or two like unofficial tournaments with a few friends sometime during like the middle of Overwatch 1.
And how do you think that university esports and NSE differ from these collegiate leagues that you've played?
It's a lot more professional. There's captain meetings before the games. There's like massive rule sets that they're strict on, which I'm glad they are, because it just makes it a lot more professional to play in and feels a lot more real, like not realistic, like closer to what an actual esport would be.
What do you think is the most difficult part of playing in that serious competitive setting compared to the like less to non-competitive?
So in essence, it's the same game. However, in a full team of players that you all know, there's a lot more teamwork going off. It's a lot more strategic. It's not just hope that your other teammates know what they're doing. It's actually communicate with your other teammates and make plays alongside them instead of just trying to go with just your one or just your duo and hoping to make plays with just that one player.
Do you find anything difficult with like switching to that more professional competitive setting?
If I wasn't as close with my teammates, I probably would, but I've been friends with two of them from before the team. I'm friends with them all now on the team, so it's quite chill. So it's been a fairly easy transition to going from a less solo-based playstyle to a more team-based playstyle.
But what are your thoughts on kind of like meeting those two other teammates that you've never interacted with for the first time?
I was a bit weary at first because Overwatch players don't really have the best of reps, but they were all chill when I met them, all sound people, and I loved playing with them.
If you could describe Marc in one word, what would it be?
Fun, to be honest. He's nice and quite well talkative with the team, so I know what I'm needing to do.
Coordinated, yeah. Knows how to make the right calls and knows how to push the team to victory.
I'd say he's very welcoming. Ever since first interacted with him, you know, not awkward to deal with, very sort of open, straight to the point. You need any help with anything, you can ask, he'll be happy to help. Just good fun, welcoming, yeah, just easy guy to get along with.
It's really fun. Like, this is my first time doing this kind of Overwatch, like, tournament style thing, so I've not really been sure how to go about it, so he's helped me sort of understand what to do, and it's just been a really fun experience. Just made it really enjoyable and really funny.
Is there a specific reason that you don't want to go pro?
I've just got too much of a passion for programming. I'd rather make the games than play them, because I feel like in a very professional setting, you're expected to practice the game to the point where it doesn't become as enjoyable as a game, which I think games are there to be enjoyable.
Would you like to talk about your game that you're making?
So I released a game back in 2020 called Wizards of the West on Steam, which I'd only been using Unreal Engine for about half a year at that time, so it was absolutely horrible. All the enemies are bullet sponges. It takes about 20 minutes to kill the first boss, whilst you can still get like killed in 4 taps. But I've recently found the time and revived the passion from that game and gone back to work on it. So I've been improving the code, working on balancing, hopefully improving the art, but I'm no artist, so it still doesn't look the best. But having now 4 years plus experience in Unreal Engine means I can make a lot more.
What did you think of the Overwatch League?
I really enjoyed the games I could watch. Quite a few of the games were on at times where I was at work or doing uni stuff. But the games I caught, I'd only really try and catch the London Spitfire games, as I'm from England, London, yeah.
Do you have any like inspiration for how you play?
Well, on the London Spitfire, there was a tank player called Hardy. He forced Reinhardt every game, and as a player who loves playing Reinhardt but can't currently due to his underwhelming performance in team comps, I loved watching Hardy still manage to force wins on that hero that I love to enjoy.
What do you think about the state of Overwatch 2 right now?
It's volatile is probably my best wording right now, because the Season 9 changes of the bullet hitboxes has changed a lot, and the new DPS passive, making it so you've got reduced healing, has made tanks have to play very, very differently. You can't just go in and take space when you're even losing a bit of health. You need to make sure you're fully healed and ready to go in. It's a lot more, what's the word? You've just got to be a lot more careful with pushing.
Is there any changes you would like to see for next season?
Just buff Reinhardt. That's all we need. Just make Reinhardt better again.
We would like your thoughts on this season, the good, the bad, the ugly, if you've got stuff like that.
It's been a strange season with the new DPS passive coming in. I can't play the same way I used to as tank. It's been a bit rough this past week. They decided to go ahead and buff Mauga, which is probably the least fun tank in the game. So we just had to play Mauga all week with Kirikos, Symmetras, and it just makes the game look like a mess. There's like 50 shields on the screen, like every other team fight. It's... Whew. He's been nerfed though, so let's hope.
What have you learned about yourself by playing this season?
I've learned a lot more about playing other tanks. Like last year, it was probably about a year ago, I'd play Reinhardt and only Reinhardt. But recently I've been like expanding out. I've played a bit more D.Va Winston, which I've never really played dive before. Still been playing the other brawl comps with Ramatra, bit of poke with Sigma. But yeah, I've been learning dive, learning other heroes for once.
And are you enjoying that, or would you have preferred it if it was more like you could just go Reinhardt every single time?
I think I would prefer just Reinhardt every time, just because he's so much of a fun hero, and let's be honest, nobody's upset when there's a Reinhardt meta. But it has been fun experiencing other playstyles with other tanks too.
Has your opinion on esports changed?
Not too much really. I understand now there's a lot more management that goes into behind the scenes, like getting all the teams together, actually getting people to play on time, because at the start of the season we had 5 players and 1 sub, and for the first few weeks, 90% of the time someone couldn't make it or someone wouldn't reply, and we'd be scrambling around looking for any player. But now we're up to 9 total people who play, so we're pretty much 5 every game, no matter what.
Coke or Pepsi?
Probably Coke, but I tend to stick to water overall.
So Red Bull or Monster?
I don't actually drink energy drinks.
Pizza or burgers?
Oh, burgers, 100%.
For a roast dinner, would you prefer beef or chicken?
For a roast, probably beef. I do prefer chicken overall, but on a roast, it's got to be beef.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet. I have a very, very sweet tooth.
PC or console?
PC, all the way.
Tank or DPS?
Tank, easily. I know it's more miserable, but still tank.
Will Hallam Hammers be back next season?
I'm hoping so. I believe we should be.